Hi everybody, I am here, and so is this. This is the Hyundai Ioniq 6N, and if you remember a video that we did not that long ago, we actually had a lot of fun with the Ioniq 5N. Well, this is the variation of their sedan that gets the N treatment. Personally, I am highly excited about this vehicle existing. As it's a sedan, it's a little bit lower, so its center of gravity is going to be a little bit kind of more fun, more expressly made for tracking, which is always exciting. So when it comes to horsepower, you have a dual motor setup here, 641 horsepower, 586 pound-feet of torque, which is an awful lot for this vehicle. So some changes that have been made to this over just the Ioniq 6, the regular version, and we're going to talk about that for a second. So the front end, obviously, it gets a little bit different. The headlight here is split now. The front fascia is different. A lot of really thoughtful and intentional aerodynamic additions. Places where the air can escape here, these side curtains here. Again, this is all going to be for aerodynamics and for efficiency. I actually really like the blackout treatment of this, and you see this kind of orange line that goes kind of all the way around the side. I think is really pretty cool. When it comes to the side of the car and the profile, you can see like this piece right down here. I actually think it makes the entire vehicle look really different. So whereas before, I think it almost kind of looked like this like an odd, I'm going to say bar of soap, but that's kind of what it looked like. I think this now gives it the illusion that it's no longer like sort of squatty like this, but it's longer, almost looking like kind of a normal vehicle, like a normal car that you would drive, which I think is really awesome. Blacked out wheels, carbon ceramic brakes, which are insane. I think there's 15-inch rotors, which are just crazy, 20-inch wheels, and these are specially made for this car. So again, aerodynamics, the most important thing. Anytime you have a performance car that is an EV, you're trying so hard to maximize range, and that's exactly what's happening here on the Ioniq 6N. And when we come into the back, you're also going to see this addition of this swan neck, the spoiler that's on the back here, this wing, and this is really going to help you with downforce, like kind of keeping all of this energy and all of this speed like as low down to the ground as humanly possible. I honestly think as well that this makes this vehicle, first of all, look super sporty and super cool, but also, again, when you see that profile and you kind of see this piece of the car, it kind of balances it out proportionally and makes it look maybe not as odd or polarizing as the Ioniq 6 did just on its own. So I think the N makes it look even better. Nice job, Hyundai. When it comes to the interior, they have actually made a tremendous amount of change, and this is really where there's a departure from the Ioniq 5N. The materials in here are lovely, really kind of top of the line, because this is obviously like the high-end sports car that they wanted to be competing with some of the Europeans when it comes to performance and all that kind of stuff. So you're gonna get really nice leather with this contrast stitching, which is really great, faux suede everywhere, and really kind of cool patterns and colors. So I actually really like how this interior looks, and I actually am really enjoying how the ambient lighting is sort of accentuating some of the textures in here. It's really great. But to me, the most important change that Hyundai have made is to all of this stuff. And this is really how you're gonna access really plugging into this vehicle and what makes it so much fun. So the torque, the N torque distribution, the N pedal, all of these options, this N drift optimizer, which is a setting where you can literally set the car to a certain, like it will drift to a certain degree. I think there are like 23 settings. So you really can control the drift to how dramatic you want it to be if maybe you're just starting out or you don't want to be too extreme. There are so many different settings and different things that you can employ here. But the problem on the Ioniq 5N was that they were so difficult to get to And you had to have all of these different, like, it was different approvals. It almost felt like you needed to get your mom to say yes, to like go ahead and use that. So they have simplified all of that, and I'm actually really happy that they've done it. Because if it's too difficult to use, you're not going to use it. And this car also, I will say this, they have designed this car so it's not just, a drift car or a track car, even though obviously you can see some of your telemetrics right here, your G's, your G-force, your pitch, your yaw, like all of these things that you can record, as well as track times too. So here's a timer, like all of these things. Here's your customize N mode over here. So you can set all of these to Sport or Sport Plus. And then you have this N button over here, highly customizable. So everything you could possibly want. Let's talk about range for a second, because the Ioniq 5N 221 mile range, I think it's going to be about the same here. I don't have an official number, nor do I have what the degradation is either. So how quickly you're going to burn through that 220 or so miles on the Ioniq 5N. I will say this, because of its center of gravity, because it was a taller vehicle, we burned through that range fairly quickly. So another way that the 6N is improved over the 5N is there now are different battery cooling systems and different settings that you can set depending on the driving that you're going to be doing. So you can precondition the battery depending on whether you're going to the drag strip and you're going to put it in launch control, or if you're going to drive it, say, around the Nürburgring, you can condition the battery to be as optimized as possible, and then you are going to be able to cool that battery in a much more efficient fashion than you would have been with the 5N. So this button here is the N-Grin Boost. This is the button that will give you that extra little, well, I guess it messes with your screens too, but this actually will increase your horsepower for just a really quickie second. And then this is your drive mode button here. So you've got Sport, you've got Eco, and you've got Normal. So everything really is right at your fingertips, almost as if you were like a race car driver or a Formula One driver. You kind of have everything right here that you need. Hyundai really have taken into consideration all of the feedback that they received from the Ioniq 5N. And I haven't used it yet, but I'm very excited to use it. And when I do, I'm hoping, as they say, that it's all going to be much more user-friendly and easy to access. So when it comes to pricing, we haven't gotten any official numbers yet, but I'm guessing, if I were a guessing woman, I would say maybe around $70,000 mark, somewhere around there. Competitors, you're probably looking at things that Mercedes-AMG puts out, or BMW, their M division, or even some of the performance models from Tesla, probably a direct competitor here. This is going to be a limited run vehicle, so it's not just going to be available on dealer lots. I don't know how many are going to be made in the United States yet. That is still up for debate as well. Or even how you order them. If it's going to be a special raise your hand or an allocation system, they have not said. And so we'll wait for that information. So a lot more to come on this one. Hopefully there's a drive also in our future, because I think this will be a very fun one to test. So stay tuned, and glad to be here.